Now, Long Island's largest radio news team brings you the Associated Press award-winning program, Newsline.
Coming up on Newsline, Monday, December 9th, 2024.
President-elect Trump appears on Meet the Press to talk about his day one priorities.
A manhunt is underway in Mississippi for an escaped convict.
The Environmental Protection Agency bans some cancer-causing chemicals in dry cleaning.
And tonight, we say goodbye to one of our own.
In business news, The Onion is heading back to Texas courtroom, William Hill's sportsbook was fined, and a breakdown of Juan Soto's contract. I'm Alexa D'Amato, and I'll have all that and more later in the broadcast.
In entertainment tonight, Jay-Z, the Golden Globes, and Taylor Swift. I'm Ricky Huber, and I'll have all that and more for you later in the broadcast.
In sports, Juan Soto is a Met. Here at Hofstra, the men's basketball team gets ready to play Norfolk State tonight. Plus, WRHU says goodbye to one of our own. I'm Michelle Rabinovich, and I'll be bringing you New York and Hofstra sports updates, plus a scouting report on broadcaster and NASCAR aficionado Peter Nicolino later in the broadcast.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Cameron Bowden.
And I'm Peter Nicolino. We begin tonight's broadcast in our nation's capital. In a recent interview on NBC's Meet the Press, President-elect Donald Trump said that he had no choice but to deport everyone who is illegally in the U.S., hinting at also possibly removing the American citizen family members of those deported.
You've promised to end birthright citizenship on day one. Is that still your plan?
Yeah, absolutely.
The 14th Amendment, though, says that, quote, all persons born in the United States are citizens. Can you get around the 14th Amendment with an executive action?
We're going to have to get a change. We'll maybe have to go back to the people.
Trump also mentioned attempting to end birthright citizenship, which is protected by the 14th Amendment of the Constitution. However, Trump says he's still open to working with Democrats to pass legislation that would ensure dreamers, known as undocumented immigrants who entered the U.S. as children, would be allowed to stay in the country.
Authorities are searching for a 45-year-old inmate who escaped from the Mississippi State Penitentiary in Sunflower County. Gregory Trigg, a man serving over 60 years for armed robbery and kidnapping, was convicted of 9 charges in Madison County, including residential burglary and being a felon in possession of a firearm. Additional sentences include vehicle theft and burglary in Rankin and Scott counties. State officials have not disclosed when or how Trigg managed to escape. The Mississippi Department of Corrections is asking for the public's help to locate him.
2 cancer-causing solvents found in everyday items were banned by the Environmental Protection Agency, a move that has been encouraged by environment and health advocates. One of the solvents, known as trichloroethylene, also known as TCE, is a toxic chemical that is used in various items such as cleaning solutions, spot removers, lubricants, as well as glue, and has been found to cause liver and kidney cancer and non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. TCE is being banned under the Toxic Substances Control Act. The other solvent is perchloroethylene, also known as PERC, and it can be used and it can cause liver, kidney, brain, and testicular cancer. PERC will still be allowed for industrial use such as aviation and defense. However, strict safety rules must be in place to protect workers. Assistant Administrator for the EPA's Office of Chemical Safety and Pollution Prevention, Michael Friedhoff, said that it is unacceptable to use safer alternatives.
In an announcement made last night, the president-elect's daughter-in-law, Laura Trump, stated that she will be stepping down from her role as a co-chair of the Republican National Convention. This announcement comes amid speculations that she may be a potential replacement for the Senate chair that is currently held by Florida Representative Marco Rubio, as President-elect Trump said that he will nominate Rubio as Secretary of State. In a post she made to X about stepping down, Laura Trump posted that she accomplished all her major goals as co-chair.
Over the weekend, longtime Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad fled to Moscow for refugee, following an overturning of Syria's capital of Damascus by rebels. Al-Assad, who has been in power for 24 years, was known for his jailing, repression, and brutalization of the Syrian people through means like chemical warfare during the country's long-standing civil war. Rebels are not working to instill themselves into the country's government, though ministers from the al-Assad regime have returned back to work today. Some of those rebel groups yesterday began the process of freeing political prisoners, sites that were home to a lot of brutality that faced the Syrian people. Those who fled the country following the start of the civil war over 13 years ago have started to flood the country, paired with others who were displaced in the country and began the process of returning to their homes.
With more on the future of Syria, Bashar al-Assad, and stability within the region, we go to an interview with Professor Stephanie Nanez, a political science instructor with a focus on Jordan and the Middle East region.
Could you speak to maybe how much of an impact you think that the fall of the Assad regime will impact the other neighboring countries within the region that are already undergoing conflicts?
Well, the fall of the Assad regime and that it fell so quickly is just remarkable news in itself. the fall of Assad will drastically reduce Iran's reach in the region and like reduce Iran's both because the Assad regime was a staunch ally of Iran and because Syria was the conduit to Hezbollah. It's kind of a twofer or a double whammy, I guess, a double whammy for Iran. It is losing both its ally and its easiest route of access to Hezbollah. And in terms of the war with Israel, it was really Hezbollah that was Iran's tool, proxy in confrontation with Israel. It really wasn't the Syrian regime. The Syrian regime under Assad, was a dictatorship, was in an official state of war with Israel. It was not a live war. There was no open conflict between Israel and Syria. In terms of war with Israel, it's really the loss of access to Hezbollah and how it's going to drastically weaken Hezbollah even further. I mean, the war with Israel has weakened Hezbollah, but losing Iranian support, we can only kind of wait and see what kind of impact that's going to have. Because I don't think Hezbollah has anyone else lined up to help them in any significant way. And then there's also the question of instability within Syria itself. So the organization that has fought and in 2 weeks overthrown the Assad dictatorship is Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. So it translates as kind of the Committee to Liberate Syria. It started as an offshoot of al-Qaeda, but has broken its ties with al-Qaeda and is very much a domestic, focused on Syria. Al-Qaeda was like a global jihadi, organization. Al-Tahrir al-Sham is very much focused on Syria, on liberating Syria and building an Islamist state in Syria. They are Islamist. And interestingly enough, apparently ISIS remains active in eastern Syria. Now, the way Tahrir al-Sham got formed is they broke off from what became ISIS. There was basically a split. So what I foresee happening now is there's going to be some amount of civil war between these two factions. They were formed in a split. I mean, I guess it would be great if they cooperate, but what I foresee is them fighting. My sense is that the Tahrir al-Sham, that it's the stronger party. Again, it's also new and happening so fast. We're all learning as we watch. But yeah, I foresee some domestic turmoil, and we don't really know what kind of regime is going to emerge there and what kind of actor they're going to be in the region. My guess is that they're really going to be focused on consolidating their rule within Syria. I don't see them causing trouble themselves. Like, I don't see them picking a fight with Israel at all. They don't love Israel, but they're not going to pick a fight with Israel. They're not going to be funding Hezbollah because they're like a sort of staunch Sunni, so I think they're not going to be funding Hezbollah. I see the Tahrir al-Sham really focused on consolidating their rule within Syria, probably eliminating some sort of ISIS threat. There might be some retribution taken against the al-Assad supporters, specifically the Alawite sect. I mean, the Assad regime brutally brutalized the Syrian population. I mean, used chemical weapons, barrel bombs, and I think that anger about that could very well be taken out on his Alawite sect members, right, who are both not seen as real Muslims, seen as sort of like Muslim apostates by groups like Al-Qaeda or Al-Qaeda-inspired groups, but also just for the sheer brutality of what they supported in the Assad regime. One thing I found interesting and encouraging is one of the statements of al-Jolani, who is the leader of Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. He said, we have liberated Syria, its dawn has come, but the closing line was, we will build a Syria for all of its, religious sects. I do not think that means Alawites, but I do think it's a reference to Christians. There will be tolerance.
Thank you again to Professor Stephanie Nanas for that interview.
Coming up after your Newsline business report with Alexa D'Amato, the NYPD continues to search for evidence in the shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. A jury is set to deliberate on lesser charges in the Daniel Penny case, and Nassau County Democrats are considering new legislation surrounding refunds for red light camera administrative fees. But first, your Newsline traffic and weather update with Melinda Rolls. WRHU News Time is 5:39.
Newsline. Up to the minute local traffic.
It is currently 50 degrees and rainy, a few degrees down from today's high of 52 degrees. Tonight, expect some fog with light rain carrying throughout the night, with temperatures dipping to a low of 46 degrees. Prepare for this rainy weather to continue its stretch with heavy rain and thunderstorms from tomorrow evening into Wednesday night. You're going to feel mostly mild temperatures in the mid-50s during these showers, with temperatures dropping to the upper 30s by the end of the week. If you're listening behind the wheel, let's see what type of delays might be coming your way. On Southern Parkway eastbound, prepare for about a 20-minute delay between Belt Parkway and exit 17 north and south to Hempstead Avenue, with speed slowing down to as low as 5 miles per hour. Nearby on Wantagh Parkway southbound, slowdown is less severe, so expect about a 10-minute setback between Northern Parkway exits 33 and 34 and Southern Parkway exits 27 north and south. I'm Melinda Rolls, and stay tuned for my second traffic update later in the broadcast.
Newsline Business News.
A bid by the satirical news organization The Onion to buy radio host Alex Jones' platform InfoWars is returning to a Texas courtroom. A judge will be deciding if the bankruptcy auction was properly run, despite Jones' claims of collusion and fraud. In November, a trustee chose The Onion over the only other bidder, who offered twice as much money. The sale of the conspiracy theory platform is part of Jones' bankruptcy case filed 2 years ago after he was ordered to pay $1.5 billion in defamation lawsuits filed by relatives of Sandy Hook shooting victims. Most proceeds will go to the families to satisfy judgments issued by the Connecticut State Court. In sports business, the New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement fined William Hill's Sportsbook $20,000 for wrongfully taking bets in 2022 and 2023. Most bets were voided after the errors were discovered, but some customers were paid out. 42 bets were taken on in-person kiosks for 12 college basketball games after the score was made final. William Hill paid over $5,000 to customers on 6 bets before they were alerted to the error. William Hill blamed sportsbook content supplied OpenBet for the mistake. Customers' initial wages were returned. Over on Citi Field, if the Mets' newest addition Juan Soto continues on his current pace for the next 15 years, he's on track to make $1.2 million for each home run. That comes out to over $450,000 for each RBI and over $300,000 for every hit. Soto's making $314,000 per game and $46,000 every time he swings the bat. All of that is assuming Soto stays healthy. If not, those numbers go up. Soto's $765 million 15-year contract is the richest contract in terms of total value to a player. With your Newsline Business Report, I'm Alexa D'Amato.
WRHU News Time is 5:42. Thank you, Melinda Rolls and Alexa D'Amato, for those reports. Police have arrested a suspect for having items consistent with the murder of the United Healthcare CEO, Brian Thompson. Police arrested and are currently questioning 26-year-old Luigi Mangione in Altoona, Pennsylvania, as a person of interest in connection with the shooting. Mangione was born and raised in Maryland, has ties to San Francisco, and a last known address in Honolulu, Hawaii. In the days since the shooting, police have released multiple videos and photos of the crime to the public, including footage of the attack, as well as images of the suspect at a Starbucks beforehand. Mangione was found with multiple fake IDs, clothing that was worn in the video of the crime, and a gun with no serial number that was made at home using a 3D printer, alternatively known as a ghost gun. Police found a 3-page document with writing suggesting that Mangione had, quote, ill will towards corporate America, which NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch said that it speaks to both his motivation and mindset.
The Marine veteran who was charged with criminally negligent homicide after putting Jordan Neely into a chokehold on a subway car has been found not guilty. Daniel Penny pleaded not guilty to second-degree manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide, and the judge dismissed the manslaughter charge after jurors couldn't come to a unanimous decision. Penny faced a maximum of 15 years. In a cell phone video captured the incident, Penny appeared to put Jordan Neely, a homeless man, into a lethal chokehold. The jury deliberated for more than 20 hours and ultimately came to a not guilty verdict. In a press conference following the verdict reading, CBS News captured Andre Zachary, Jordan Neely's father.
I miss my son. My son didn't have to go through this. I didn't have to go through this either. It hurts. It really, really hurts.
Protests have been ongoing since the verdict was read, including those chanting, quote, justice for Jordan Neely.
Nassau County legislators revealed a plan that would refund drivers who were charged administrative fees on top of red light tickets. The push comes after a state appeals court unanimously ruled that fees in both Nassau and Suffolk counties were excessive and illegal. Suffolk County dropped its fees in 2023 and ended the red light camera program last week. The camera found that Nassau's $100 fine on red light violations was illegal, and the Fair Fees Accountability Act aims to put that money back in the drivers' pockets. This act, if approved, would look to permanently repeal illegal fees, establish a fund to repay overcharged drivers, and create an oversight committee to prevent future abuse. Nassau lawmakers confirmed it dropped the fees last week in response to the court ruling, but didn't comment on what it planned to do with the millions it collected over the past couple years.
The holiday season is a time of reflecting on gratitude and spending time with friends and family. However, some mental health professionals say that for many college students, the holidays can lead to stress and anxiety, especially during exam time, as WRHU's Amanda Mitchell reports.
During this time of year, most students click away on their keyboards, and Emily Martinez is no exception. Emily is in her final year as a PhD student majoring in industrial organizational psychology and is working on her dissertation.
It is very stressful. It is a long process. There's a lot of writing, a lot of editing. During the holiday seasons, it is very difficult to juggle doing just normal work, schoolwork, and on top of that, just trying to be a human.
She is also starting a new job in tech as a data labeling analyst at Meta, so life can be a bit overwhelming at times.
I do utilize the counseling center on campus. Sometimes we only talk about how stressful school is, so I use that. That actually helps me cope a lot because it's kind of like an allotted time.
Mariela Contreras, a health science major in her junior year, talks about her financial stress leading up to the holidays.
One thing that I have realized that causes me stress is gift giving. And I think it's only because, like, as students, like right now, like I only work 4 hours a week and I make like minimum wage. That probably is like the thing that really stresses me out about holidays.
She cannot afford to get a present for her brother, only her parents and boyfriend.
There's a lot. I've always had to do work.
Emily Martinez, who is in her late 20s, talks about the added pressure of the time of year.
It's finishing everything up till the day of the holiday, and then right after Christmas, getting right back to it up until New Year's, and then as soon as New Year's hits, it's starting over again. There's a big financial aspect to it as well.
Holly Syrup, a professor of counseling and educational leadership at Hofstra University, offers advice for students trying to balance multitasking.
You know, the typical one is good time management skills. Even when people go into it with the best of intentions, I'm going to make sure that I'm going to schedule this time to meet with friends and this time to do my work. We get caught up in it a lot of times. Procrastination is a real thing, and we have to recognize procrastination, intentionally make schedules, to intentionally stick to the schedule. You want to set the goals, but then you have to stick to the goals as well.
In a survey by Kahoot, a digital learning platform, students reported experiencing negative outcomes while studying, such as anxiety, boredom, and frustration. Dr. Tara Madalena works at the Long Island campus of St. Joseph's University, New York, and is the director of the Counseling and Wellness Center. She speaks about how parents and educators can support students during the holiday season.
Let's be transparent, and the common issue of holidays is, unfortunately, the number one thing is stress instead of the joy of the holiday. But connection is key. So we often ask our educators to be sure to stay on top of the events we have on campus.
Dr. Madalena says we should lean on our peers and faculty members for help this holiday season. For Newsline, I'm Amanda Michelle, WRHU.
Thank you again to WRHU's Amanda Michelle for that report.
Coming up, your Newsline Entertainment Report with Ricky Hubert. But first, your Newsline Traffic Update with Melinda Rolls. WRHU News Time is 5:49.
Newsline Traffic.
On Belt Parkway eastbound, there is some slowdown starting to increase, so prepare for a 20-minute delay between exits 19 and 20 to Conduit Avenue and Southern Parkway. Moving to I-495 eastbound in Roslyn Heights, delays are looking severe, so expect slowdown that may set you back over half an hour. Finally, moving over to Cross Island southbound, expect about a 10-minute delay from exit 23 to Grand Central Parkway and exit 25A to Belt Parkway. With your final Newsline traffic update, I'm Melinda Rolls.
Newsline Entertainment.
Rapper Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, is now accused, along with Sean Diddy Combs, of drugging and sexually assaulting a 13-year-old girl at a New York MTV after-party 24 years ago. In a statement, the Grammy Award winner called the allegations, quote, idiotic and, quote, heinous in nature, and part of an extortion attempt against him. He denies all charges of sexual misconduct. The amended litigation, refiled in a civil lawsuit on Sunday, is part of the ongoing sexual assault lawsuits against the hip-hop mogul, who remains in custody in New York, awaiting trial for numerous federal sex trafficking crimes. It was a very nice morning for a slew of stars who were nominated for Golden Globes this year. The big film nominated this year is Emilia Perez, which tells the story of a Mexican drug lord that undergoes gender-affirming surgery to become a woman that leads the pack with 10 nominations. Other exciting nominees included Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande for their work in Wicked, Zendaya for Challengers, and Pamela Anderson, earning her first career nomination for The Last Showgirl. Ted Danson will receive the Carol Burnett Award, and Viola Davis will receive the Cecil B. DeMille Award in a private gala on January 3rd, 2 days prior to the Globes airing on CBS Sunday, January 5th, and streaming that same day on Paramount Plus, hosted by Nikki Glazer. With your Newsline Entertainment Report, I'm Ricky Hubert, WRHU.
WRHU News Time is 5:51 p.m. Thank you, Melinda Rolls and Ricky Hubert, for those reports. Today, we're saying goodbye to our former news director and a shining face here at WRHU FM, as it is Peter Nicolino's final Newsline. To commemorate his time here and all the people whose lives he changed, we have some audio messages from some of Peter's friends and family.
Peter Nicolino, where do I start, man? From the moment I got to know you through RHU as the news director, all the way up until now where, I hang out with you even outside of school. You're just an awesome dude all around. You got your life set up for you, man. I aspire to be you, and you're someone that's always brought a smile to my face during my time here at Hofstra, and for that, I commend you and I congratulate you.
What's going on, Peter? Kevin Hawley here, man. I'll never forget us having Panita. It was my freshman year, spring semester. First met you, towering figure. I was like, man, this is a big body over here. But, dude, you're a really nice guy. It's been a pleasure getting to know you through the school communications and outside of it. You're a great dude. Keep doing what you're doing, man.
So for Antonio Schoenhardt and for Kevin Hawley, Mr. Petey Piranha, you have a fantastic time after graduation.
Hey, what's up, Peter? Chris here. Just wanted to say congratulations on a great career with WRHU and having a good eye for some good journalism. We need more good journalists in the world, and thanks for being one.
Hey, Girly Pop, it's Alexa. Thank you so much for everything you've done for Newsline for the past couple of months. It was such an honor being able to work with you when you were news director. I'm so excited for everything that you're going to do in the future, and congratulations and good luck on everything.
Hey Peter, it's Ayal Zur. Thanks so much for training me to be on the show. You've always been such a fun and chill dude, and I'm sad this is your last show, but I'm happy that you're ending it off with a bang. I know you do great in whatever you do and wherever you go, and from me and from all of us in the studio, congrats on everything, man, and good luck out there.
Hi, Peter. It's your big sis. Just wanted to let you know how proud I am of you and all the hard work you've put in these past few years. No one's been a harder or more determined worker than you, and I know the Hofstra team is going to miss your drive and tenacity. To see your growth over these past 4 years only makes me more excited to see what you have in store for the next 4. Keep killing it, Pete.
Hey Peter, it's Michelle. It's been a joy to work alongside you, to have known you, and to have watched you evolve. From your pep talks, to me or to others, to helping you put together your first broadcast, to helping you tie and retie your ties, it's been my privilege to have been part of your story. I can't wait to see you succeed in the future. Misha.
Hey Peter, graduation is coming. It's Joe. Congratulations on your graduation and good luck in all future endeavors.
Hey Peter, it's Parker. I just want to give special acknowledgement to my mentor from the fall 2023 WRHU training class. I super appreciate everything you did for me. You answered questions, you were there for me, and most importantly, you wanted me to succeed. You're a good guy, I'm proud of you, and I also want to acknowledge that one of the first shows I ever shadowed as a trainee was you engineering Newsline, and now here I am getting to engineer your final show. I think that's really awesome, and great work with everything. I can't wait to see what you do. Let's stay in touch, and thank you for everything, Peter. Thank you.
Hi, Peter. It's Dad and Mom. We just wanted to tell you that we are so proud of you, and we are floored by all you have accomplished at Hofstra. congrats on your last show at the radio station. We know how much this means to you, and we know that you are definitely going to leave your mark at Hofstra. You've done a great job, and we wish you all the best in your future career.
Great job, buddy. Love ya.
Hello, Peter Nicolino. This is Brooklyn Dotton, and I only wish to say good luck in your future endeavors. You have done great things at the radio station, and I do not doubt that you will do good things in the world. Good luck.
Hey Peter, it's Kenny. I just wanted to say congratulations on graduating. You did it. You've accomplished so much throughout your time here at WRHU, and I know you're only going to continue to accomplish more as you progress throughout your career.
Peter! We're all gonna miss you so much, man. Even though my time seeing you was very short, as I just got into the station just barely at the beginning of this year, I saw from a very early stage that you really wanted to make the most out of it and make through, whether it be through the people, the opportunities, just even literally just having a good time. And we all know that you're going to do insanely amazing things when you move past the school. I appreciate everything you've done. I appreciate you calling me out, and every time I wrote something incorrectly, I appreciate you openly telling me when to shut up when we're about to start our show. And anyway, we wish you all the best of luck.
Hey Peter, it's Ethan. Just wanted to take some time and thank you for everything. You know, you showed me so much when you were my RHU mentor, and I owe a lot to you. Thank you for everything. Best of luck. Stay in touch, and let's go Sox, man.
Hey Peter, this is Alondra. You were my first Newsline director, and I always loved hearing your insight on topics during post. Your charming demeanor was always great whenever we passed, and you always said hello to me. Seeing your passion and dedication, I know you'll do great things in the future.
Peter, I'm in the content suite and everyone's locking in, so I can't be super loud, but I want to say congratulations for graduating, and I know you're going to go so far. Thank you so much for everything you've done and everything you've taught me, and I see only great things for you.
Hey Peter, I saved the best for last, but I wanted to reach out to say a couple words about how much your trust in me has meant to my success. You trusted me enough to begin producing on the first day that I was ever interested in it. You trusted me enough to be an anchor, to be a reporter, to be a package producer, and the only reason that I've been able to do so much is because you trusted me enough to be a producer and to be a reporter and to be a journalist. So at the end of the day, I truly owe you for putting that trust in me and then allowing me to continue to grow and explode in terms of the opportunities that I've had. So at the end of the day, I want you to know that I'm so endlessly proud of you, and I'm so lucky to have been able to see you as a news director, as a mentor, and as a friend. I think that is truly such an amazing gift, and I truly appreciate everything that you've done for me thus far. And I can't wait to see what the future looks like for you and beyond. So, Mazel Tov, Peter. Congratulations, and I really do appreciate and love you, friend.
Thank you, everybody. It's taken a little while to recover after that. I didn't really think I'd ever get here. I had failed out of my first year in college, and for a while I had mentally accepted that I wasn't really somebody who was capable of achieving a college degree or any sort of academic achievement for that matter. I had floated any other ways I could survive without a degree because of how hopeless I felt, but eventually I ended up right back on a school's doorstep. I had enrolled in my local community college, and I had rediscovered what it meant to have a real passion for something. I fell in love with broadcasting for its ability to make it my own. I fell in love with journalism for its ability to allow me to tell stories. And with that love for both of these things, I was able to fall back in love with myself and make me realize how capable I really am. Growing up, my mother always told me I had the gift of gab. And for those words and for all that she has done to support me, I have to thank her. I have to thank my father for his support and for teaching me to have a fighting spirit. I thank my brother Thomas and my sister Sarah for just putting up with me along the journey. And I thank the rest of my wonderful family who has made me who I am today. I am eternally grateful to be a part of Radio Hofstra University. I would like to personally thank Duali Saikau Tao, the most influential journalist I have ever known, Pete Silverman, a man who has taught me what it means to be a talent, and John Mullen, just for taking a chance on me and getting me a job. I want to thank all the people in this room who have really affected my life in all the best ways. I want to thank Cameron for putting this together and really being something who has just achieved so much in the past. And it's just going to achieve so much in the future, just like the rest of you guys. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Alexa. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you to my wonderful engineer, Parker, and Alondra. I'm able to achieve everything I've ever wanted because of the experiences and the opportunities I've been given here. Thank you, WRHU.
Coming up, your Newsline Sports Break with Michelle Rabinovich. WRHU News Time is 6 o'clock.
I'm Michelle Rabinovich, and this is a really tough act to follow, but here's your sports update. Juan Soto is headed to Queens. MLB Network reports that Steve Cohen has agreed to a $765 million contract that will span 15 years for the generational hitter. The deal contains a $75 million signing bonus, an opt-out after 5 seasons, and no deferred money. The Mets will have the ability to void Soto's opt-out clause after the 2029 season if they boost the average annual value of the final decade of his deal from $51 million to $55 million. If so, it boosts the total value of the contract to an eye-popping $805 million green ones. Nicolino, at least Soto is out of your division. Regrettably, he is still my crosstown rival. Can't wait to see how your Red Sox fumble the rest of the offseason, though. The Islanders return home tomorrow night to face the Kings. Last night, they beat the Senators in Ottawa 4-2 behind a brilliant performance by Ilya Sorokin. The netminder stopped 29 of 31 shots. Anders Lee, Kyle McLean, Kyle Palmieri, and Bo Horvat contributed to the offense. You can hear tomorrow night's game here on WRHU and all across the Islanders radio network. Puck drop is at 7:38. In Hofstra Sports, the men's basketball team is on the road today against Norfolk State. The Pride's record stands at 7-3, and tip-off is at 7. Now, as promised, a scouting report on our very own Peter Nicolino. The 6'22" anchor has broadcast experience in basketball, volleyball, and wrestling. He's not just a face for radio, however, with appearances in front of the camera. I like to highlight in this scouting report that he's not afraid to let his humor and personality shine through.
What could they have done differently? Be named Alabama. That helps a lot.
What separates him from his draft mates is his penchant for writing, with publications in the Chronicle going from regular game recaps that I've actually edited to features about the people he loves the most. With your Newsline Sports Report and special scouting report, I'm Michelle Rabinovich.
And that will do it for tonight's edition of Newsline. Many thanks to the entire WRHU News team. Engineering our show this evening is my wonderful mentee, Parker Driscoll, and the amazing Alondra Nolasco Rojas.
Thank you for tuning into Newsline, only here on your 4-time Marconi Award-winning radio station, 88.7 FM, Radio Hofstra University.
Access real-time, local Long Island, New York, and global news, along with content from WRHU Talent, Monday through Thursday, 5:30 to 6 p.m.
And tune back in from 7 to 9 Monday through Friday morning for our talk show, where we discuss Long Island life, national news, and international issues from the minds and mouths of Hofstra students on the morning wake-up call.
Lastly, check us out on social media at WRHU News for behind-the-scenes content.
For Newsline, I'm Cameron Bowden.
And for the last time, I'm Peter Nicolino.
Thank you for listening.
And have a great night, Long Island.